Snoop Dogg had just landed at LAX after a long international tour. He was looking forward to heading home, relaxing, and spending time with his family. As he strolled through the airport, rocking his signature shades and a fresh outfit, he had no idea that his life was about to take a shocking turn. Just as he reached the customs checkpoint, a group of uniformed officers stepped forward. "Mr. Broaddus, can you step aside for a moment?" one of them asked sternly. Snoop, used to occasional security checks, remained calm and complied, though he sensed something unusual in their tone. The officers guided him to a separate inspection area, away from the public eye. The room was stark, with a metal table and a few chairs. Cameras monitored every move. One officer, who seemed to be in charge, crossed his arms. "We need to search your belongings," he stated. Snoop nodded, letting them do their job. He was clean. He had nothing to hide. As they rifled through his bags, he leaned back, watching with an amused expression. "Y'all acting like I got a bomb or something?" He chuckled, but the officers didn't laugh. One officer suddenly stiffened. He reached into Snoop's carry-on and pulled out a small, wrapped package. The room fell silent. The lead officer's face turned serious. "Mr. Broaddus, can you explain this?" Snoop squinted at the package, confused. "Man, I ain't never seen that before," he said honestly. But the officers weren't buying it. "You're saying this isn't yours?" the officer pressed. "Hell nah. Somebody must have put that in my bag. I ain't that dumb," Snoop replied, his voice rising slightly. The tension escalated. More officers entered, and suddenly, cameras from nearby press started flashing through the windows. News was breaking. Snoop Dogg was being detained at LAX. Social media exploded within minutes. "Breaking: Snoop Dogg caught in airport bust." Headlines ran wild with speculation. Fans and critics alike debated online. Some claimed he was being framed. Others assumed the worst. The world was watching. Meanwhile, inside the security room, Snoop's lawyer arrived, demanding an explanation. "If you have no proof that this belongs to my client, you have no grounds to hold him," he argued. The officers exchanged glances. They knew the package hadn't been in Snoop's checked luggage, only in his carry-on. But surveillance footage showed something shocking. A mystery figure had discreetly slipped something into Snoop's bag just before he picked it up. Rewinding the footage, they zoomed in on the suspect. The officers' faces darkened. "That's not one of our agents," one muttered. "Who is that?" Snoop leaned in, watching the footage. "I don't know who that is, but I know what y'all about to do. Y'all about to clear my damn name." The investigation took a wild turn. The suspect was a known figure in underground circles, someone with a vendetta against Snoop. The story unraveled like a movie plot, with twists that no one saw coming. As more evidence surfaced, the authorities had no choice but to release Snoop. However, the damage had been done. His name had been dragged through the mud, and the media was relentless. But Snoop wasn't one to back down. Instead of hiding, he addressed the public head-on. He held a press conference, laying out the truth, exposing the setup, and calling out those who had tried to take him down. The internet flipped. Supporters rallied behind him. "Snoop was set up. Justice for Snoop" became trending hashtags. Even celebrities spoke out in his defense, and just like that, the tables turned. The ones who had tried to ruin him were now under scrutiny. Investigations led to shocking revelations about corruption within certain airport security circles. Names were exposed, arrests were made. And Snoop? He walked away stronger than ever. As he exited the airport, greeted by cheering fans, he smirked, adjusted his shades, and said to the cameras, "Y'all can't stop the dog." His career wasn't over. It was reborn. And this time, the world knew the truth. However, the drama wasn't over yet. The mastermind behind the setup was still in the shadows, and Snoop wanted justice. A private investigator was hired to dig deeper, tracking the suspect from the footage. Clues led them to a rival figure in the music industry, someone who had a long-standing grudge against Snoop. The revelation was explosive. The suspect had been hired to plant the package with promises of a hefty payout. The goal was clear: damage Snoop's reputation, get him locked up, and derail his career. But now that the truth was coming out, the tables turned once more. Snoop took matters into his own hands. Instead of simply exposing the culprit, he challenged them publicly. In a live interview, he laid out all the evidence. "You tried to play me, but the dog don't get played," he declared. The world watched in awe as the scheme was completely unraveled. With public support stronger than ever, Snoop didn't just clear his name, he came out on top. His music streams soared, his influence grew. He used the experience to advocate against corruption in the system, launching initiatives to protect others from false accusations. In the end, Snoop Dogg didn't just survive the scandal, he turned it into one of the biggest comebacks in entertainment history. And as he stepped onto the stage at his next concert, bathed in flashing lights and the roaring cheers of thousands, he grinned and said, "Told y'all, the dog always lands on his feet."